What has struck you about the way Coach Evero puts in the system and reps it on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good start to it. A month or so ago when we started in, just kind of getting little tidbits right away, and now really branching off into different sectors of defense, whether it be different fire zones, different coverages, and then different adjustments off those fire zones. Right away it was just putting them in, whether it be a fire zone or different coverage, and now it's the additions to it. Certain formations come out, now we're adjusting to those and giving different calls. So it's been good.
When you came back, they talked about the importance of your role and how you call defenses, kept guys organized and aligned. How is that then? How do you have to accelerate that now that you're learning a new defense and then being, kind of responsible for helping other guys learn it as well?
Yeah, you just got to stay, one step ahead, one day ahead, and keep on looking at the playbook. They install something, or right before they're about to install something, it usually goes up on the iPad, so you got to get the night before and try to, get a little head start on it, just so you can be helpful to everybody else that maybe just gets a start on it that day, which is totally normal. But if you're a middle linebacker somewhere in there, you need to kind of get a jump start on people.
How does that mark is new when it pops in, or do you have to go look at it?
No, you got to kind of look sometimes. It's mostly just a big folder, and then you go look in it, and you'll notice there's a different couple of calls in there, or they'll have a day, like a sheet where the play calls will be different for the day and stuff like that.
Josey, to that, and obviously every coach is going to be, delivering information in meetings. What's different about maybe the way that Coach Hackett presents the information, whether it's the technology he uses or the way he presents it?
Yeah, definitely a lot of technology involved. Some cool little slides up there. Just a lot of energy. I mean, you guys have heard it multiple times. It comes into the meetings with energy. You're enjoying it. You're enjoying the game. You're enjoying being in team meetings, and you're enjoying being with everybody out there. So, yeah, we all love it so far, and it's been a fun time. Just this, first couple months that we've been here.
So we learned about we learned about Kahoot, this sort of game that he plays to kind of quiz you on stuff. What kind of competitiveness is there within the room when you're learning in that kind of fashion, where it's kind of a competition?
Yeah, no, we've done the basketball stuff. We've done the names. I think Jonas got the names one, so that was a little scary because sometimes, with a bunch of new players, especially rookies, you're worried about knowing people's names, and especially if they're in your position room or, on the defense and you don't know it, you feel kind of like a turd. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, we've done the basketball one, and that's fun. It just gets everybody riled up. A little bit of competition never hurts.
How collaborative is it in those meetings and on the field in terms of the coaches kind of working with players and feedback being exchanged back and forth?
Yeah, it's good. Just in whether it be defensive room, whether it be us coming up with signals and talking to coaches about them, what works best, or being in our linebacker room and talking to Coach Hansen about different things, and him hearing insight on what we see and us listening to him on what he sees overall as a coach. So the verbiage back and forth has been great, and the communication has been awesome so far.
Josey, go ahead.
I know he's sitting right there, but with Jonas over the last 4 games of the year last year, what do you see from him, and kind of where is he taking that next step?
Yeah, you've definitely seen a couple steps in the last couple of games last year of where he's excelled, whether it be the quickness of the recognition of the plays. The guy's always fast, so you always see that on the field, and just the physicalness that started to creep up and come into the last couple of games. He showed that where he can long arm guys, he can two-hand them, and then swim off them or arm over, and just understanding of the game, route concepts and stuff like that. So it's been fun watching him progress so far.
How does Evero's defensive philosophy differ from what you were doing in the past with Fangio?
There's a lot of similarities, and it's kind of hard to go into the deep shell of it so far, just because we're early stages still. We're a month and a half or whatever it is in so far. But just different kind of communication so far, whether it be, maybe more safety communication, or the D-lines maybe doing a little bit more. And this year, the D-lines maybe doing a little more, less of us having to tell them what to do, which is okay and fine with me. But stuff like that, it's nothing massive yet, but we'll see as the season goes along.
How's your mentality changed? Because last year was contract year, you were excited, it's like we've had this progression. You wanted to start, you became a starter, to now they wanted you back and they gave you, it's not a 10-year deal, but obviously a multi-year deal. They want you here.
Yeah, no, that means a lot. And there's a lot of stress, a little bit of stress last year with that, being hurt, watching from the sidelines, just trying to help out as much as I possibly can. And now this year, now I know I can just go out there, play my football. I don't have to be really too worried about things. I can just go out there and enjoy it, communicate, play physical ball, and I'm excited for that.
When it came to points allowed, you guys were one of the top defenses last year. it seems like, for me, the next step is takeaways and sacks. What about this group makes you think that you're gonna be able to take that next step in that regard?
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at the OLB room; it's pretty stacked, so that helps the sack part of that. So, and that also transitions into fumbles, strip sacks and stuff like that. And these coaches have been doing a great job so far of teaching the punch out, teaching the strip, a lot of different things. And we've been hitting almost every meeting, it seems like, this last couple of weeks. So, really strenuous on that part of the game so far, which, like you said, is something we need to improve on, especially fumbles, and keep on punching that ball out. So, definitely done a great job so far.
But on offense, the buzzword is outside zone. When that's blocked right, what is the challenge for an inside linebacker against that scheme?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you got to fit off other people. So it really depends on the D-line, how they play it. If somebody gets beat, then you got to make up for them. And really the ending goal in that is, being able to outside run, and then boot. So then you got to be able to play both. So you got to be able to keep depth and understand, a possibility of a boot, or you might have to get up in that gap and fill that gap. So, it creates a couple problems. But as long as your D-line's playing it well, it's going to be pretty simple for you.
Josey, outside of the fact that Coach Hansen is probably the tallest position coach that you've had.
Yeah.
What sticks out to you just about the few months that you've had working with him?
Yeah, well, right here, he's not been here the last couple of days, but it's been very good getting to know him. We had a little crawfish boil the other day at his house. Very personal guy. You can get to know him really well, and very open meeting where we communicate very well between whether it just be Jonas or I or a bunch of the other guys, being able to tell them what we see, and then kind of find a culmination, finding a in between point where we agree on and we see the best situation. So I think he's a great coach so far, and enjoyed being in the meeting room with him.
Thanks, Josey.
Appreciate it, guys.